We are Team LiveStream, and right now we're going to show you how to boot Linux onto the Cyclone 2 FPGA. And here we have our Ubuntu Linux host machine that's going to compile and run the Linux software onto this Cyclone 2 FPGA. In order to get Linux onto the FPGA, we need to make a board-specific kernel. So we're going to point it to the PTF file for our NIOS 2 processor with the Make Vendor Hardware Select option. We're going to choose CPU and boot into SDRAM. Now, once that's done, we can configure our kernel with the Make Menu config Make Menu config command. Now this will let you select your vendor, it's already Altera, and your product, it's already NIOS. You can set kernel defaults. Actually, we're going to do that. Customize kernel settings and application library settings. It takes a while to compile. Alright, now here we can select kernel settings, config support, file system support options. We can set support for MMUs, GPIOs, things like that, networking support at the things. And here we have the library configurations. And for this configuration, we're using the libmpeg2 library to decode MPEG files. So that looks all good. The next step is to actually compile the code with the simple make command. And this takes a while, so I have an image already set up. So to download the image file to the board, we're going to configure the board with the SOF, with the NIOS 2 configure SOF command. Hold on. The SOF is basically just an image of your Quartus files, and as you can see, the board has been programmed with the SOF. Now we need to download the image file. It's NIOS 2 download command. This will download the Linux image file via the USB blaster interface to the Cyclone 2 FPGA board. The image has been downloaded, and we can now open a terminal. and uCLinux has been booted up, and the terminal is being driven through the USB blaster interface from the Linux on the board to the screen here. And you can do normal Linux things like listing, change directory, and yeah. So we're Team LiveStream, and this has been how to put Linux onto the Cyclone 2 FPGA.